In this video, what you should do if you are struggling to pay your mortgage. Reports indicate that there are an increasing number of people who are struggling to pay their mortgage and falling behind. If you happen to be in that situation, what should you do? Lenders will find it almost impossible to repossess a property when the borrower is engaging with them and making an effort to pay. It's very important that you remember that. If you find yourself in a position where you can't meet your monthly mortgage payments, it is important not to bury your head in the sand. Help is available and there are things you can do to get back on track. If you're a homeowner, it's not the bricks and mortar but the mortgage that keeps the roof over your head. Yet, many recent interest rate rises mean many people are likely to struggle to meet their monthly repayments, leading to arrears and the fear of repossession. I'm hoping to give you some advice that will help you should you find yourself in this position. The first step is to take a realistic approach and establish if there is anything you can change in order for you to be able to pay. That could be ruthlessly cutting down your overheads, eliminating every single unnecessary expense from TV subscriptions to mobile phone contracts and gym membership. If the figures still do not add up, is there any way that you could supplement this with additional income, be that extra work at the weekend or even renting a room? If the figures still do not stack up, then you begin to prioritize expenses. I would assume that first and foremost the most important payment is your mortgage. In the first instance, here's a few suggestions of what you can do. Talk to an experienced advisor. There are many free debt advisory services, including the Citizens Advice Bureau. Laws and policies do change frequently, and a professional advisor will be familiar with the latest updates, which can often make a difference to your position. Talk to your lender. If you're struggling to pay your mortgage, you should contact your lender as soon as possible. They'll normally reply within 15 days of a missed payment, but you shouldn't wait until then to speak to them. It is much better to speak to them before you reach the point where you will miss all or part of your next payment. The idea being that you should demonstrate that you have done everything possible in an effort to avoid falling behind. If you took out your mortgage from the 31st of October 2004 onwards, your mortgage lender has to follow the Financial Conduct Authority rules when dealing with mortgage arrears. The rules say that your mortgage lender must treat you fairly and give you a reasonable chance to make arrangements to pay off the arrears. If you are able to, it must consider any reasonable request from you to change when or how you pay your mortgage. If your mortgage was taken out before October 2004, a lender has to abide by the code that existed then. At this point, you may be in the unfortunate position where you may be at risk of missing payments, which will adversely affect your credit file for up to 6 years. The key here is to ensure that you really have no other option. If there is absolutely no way that you can avoid this, then you will have no other option but to resort to damage limitation. Many of you who have bought within the last year or two may be surprised to find that in real terms you may already be in negative equity, where the value of your home after selling and paying fees is less than the balance that you owe. In this instance, you will need the permission of your lender to sell. Most lenders will work with you because they will invariably prefer a small shortfall now rather than an increasing loss plus legal costs, along with everything that the repossession process involves. As I said, lenders do not want to repossess. They will always choose to work with a cooperative borrower than have to resort to legal action. If you do need to sell, you need to be decisive and realistic. Do not make the mistake of overpricing your home in a vain attempt to salvage your losses. That will only result in your home sitting there on offer for longer, and meanwhile your debts are increasing and the value of your home may be falling depending on the state of the market. I hope that this helps. If you feel that you may be struggling due to the increase in interest rates, address it as soon as possible and speak to your lenders as soon as possible. There's things they can do. They can switch you to interest only payments. They might offer you a different proposition, but as long as you are engaging with them and making an effort to pay, the chances of them taking legal action is minimal. Thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next video.